Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I have finally done it. Okay. I have created another account as I said I would do in my last video, and I wanted to continue on to, uh, our series, right? I mean, we want to get out of bronze, but we probably want to progress farther than that, right? We want to figure out like what it is that's causing our losses, right? And as you've noticed in my series, the majority of the problem is Riot, but there are things that we personally can do to change the outcome that we have. I don't know what the answer is 100% of the time, guys. Like, this is the reality, okay? I can't tell you what works and what doesn't work 100% of the time because there is no like give all, say all, do all solution, right? But I can definitely tell you that um, in order for you to like progress, you have to stop doing what is holding you back, right? And the biggest problem that players in like iron and bronze have is they have this idea that they are doing it right. But if you start like figuring out like the whole reason you're probably even watching this video is because you're realizing maybe I'm not doing it right, right? So, I started showing you like League of Legends is not a team game. It is strictly like do you do what you want to do, and if you think your teammates are idiots, don't don't follow the idiots because following the idiots is worse than if you do what you should be doing, right? If you think you should just push the lane and win the game because you're pushing a lane, like you'd be surprised. You'd be so surprised at how just simply pushing a lane creates enough pressure to win the game, right? I've like as you can see here, silver 4, okay? I'm not just fucking talking out my ass, okay, guys? Like, sorry about the language, but I'm not just saying this so that you can, um, like, take it and look at me and just be like, this guy's hilarious, okay? Think about the things I'm telling you, okay? Now, I wanted to start this series. I created a new account and to do whatever because like my point has been said, right? With the whole fucking bronze thing, you know, stop playing as a team. Do what you have to do to win. Find a way to like carry yourself, right? Like you need Rift Herald, go get Rift Herald. Play top or something. Like if you want to make a difference, carry yourself, right? So instead of me like beating a dead horse and me playing more bronze games, I decided that with this new account that I was gonna play with, because obviously if you saw my last video, I got banned, and I got permanently banned because I was defending another teammate. And it's just crazy to me how like you can say anything and somebody can report you and that equals ban. Like there's no actual review or looking at your account to see if you're a legit citizen, like somebody who's actually trying to make the community better. Like League of Legends doesn't care about that. Riot doesn't care about you or your account or what you say. And like I can I can just play like 10 more games to like prove that point, but I decided that I'm not going to do that. I'm going to like as I was playing this, and as you can see, I've actually played a few games, considering like things that I see in silver, and uh, when we get into the gold area, I'll probably do the same. I'll probably, play some games and scope it out and figure out like what's going on in gold and whatnot. Um, but really, I just kind of like I wanted to scope out silver before I decided to tell you what I thought was wrong in silver. And I'm noticing some things that are like repetitive. But I want to tell you guys the things that are not so repetitive. I want to kind of help you figure out, like, I mean, like, the things that I told you in bronze actually applies a lot in silver. Apparently, silver is kind of like bronze too, in my opinion. It's kind of like these guys still haven't figured it out, but there are some things that you can do that might change things for you. Um, so I'm probably gonna change my series name from like Bronze and Challenger to something like uh, how to advance out of a certain rank, or maybe some things to think about in League or something. Like, I mean, I'm wondering, like, maybe I shouldn't, like, there's a huge percentage of people that are stuck down here, right? Like, it's, I mean, it could be easily like, you know, Challenger and Silver, you decide. But then, you have the haters, right? Like, you have people like just bashing things. But what if I change things to be like what are you doing wrong, or like I don't know what I'm gonna name my series. And like as of me taping this, I don't know what to do. Or like, I mean, I'm not a YouTuber, right? Like, I'm not like this million subscriber guy. But I can tell you that I'm noticing things, and if you're willing to listen, you're here, right? Like, you're here, you're listening, and like, let's just go from there. And like, maybe I'll figure out a name to work with that will help us, like, I don't know, like, make the series legitimate instead of just like, oh, this guy isn't acting like Challenger. But you have to understand that, like, I'm doing these videos at a level so that it's an understanding level, right? Like, I'm not trying to absolutely carry a game so hard that somebody doesn't understand what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, because they're going to see something as, like, why would you do that? And then if I didn't explain it and it looked like I wasn't helping my team when in fact I was, then what good does it do, right? So I have to play at the level of understanding. I have to also explain at the level of understanding so that it's a continuous growth, right? So I'm kind of thinking now we are going to talk about silver, right? How different is silver from bronze, right? So where we left off prior to the permaban for helping a teammate, like, I'm never gonna get over that, and I'm never gonna fucking let Riot off the case. Like, I've been banned so many times just because I've simply said something. Because, maybe my teammates were mad. Like, it's so easy to blame somebody else, right? Like, let's say you're the jungler and you never gank, but then your teammates feed, and then you want to blame them, and then somehow that person is like, you're a piece of shit. And then, everybody's like, why are you trying to bash your own teammates? And then everybody gets on your case because you called out somebody who was actually in the wrong, right? So then you get banned because you said something and four people reported you, and yet you were actually doing the right thing and they weren't. So that was my whole series. Like if you are not understanding what I'm saying, go back, watch my other 12, 13, 14 videos, whatever I've made. Go back and watch them. And then when you hear me saying this right now, you're going to get it. You're going to be like, oh, bronze actually is fucking full of trolls. Like, that's all it is. Like, you'll actually find Smurfs in bronze games almost every single game. A gold player trying to, maybe see if his MMR is platinum or whatever, right? Somebody's always going to be trolling you. So you have to play at a level, you have to play at the level above what they're doing, right? So if they do something that makes you angry and you say something, that can get you banned because everybody will jump against you because everybody needs an enemy, right? Like people aren't willing to say, find out, like people aren't willing to admit who the actual enemy on your own team is, but people aren't willing to like force their anger upon the actual enemy, which is your opponent, right? Like your teammates should be your teammates no matter what. Stop bashing your own teammates. And if you find somebody bashing a teammate, don't say anything to them either because they're also your teammate. So I made my point. We have found that if you play as a team, you're going to lose. If you talk to anybody, you're going to get banned. And if you do what you know you're supposed to do, you're going to be able to carry yourself, right? So let's find out what works in silver. The thing that I want to point out in silver is learning how to dodge games, and I don't know if I'm going to do that right now, or B, learn how to play characters that will win you ultimately, right? Like win the game for you. Like Veigar, for example. If he doesn't get banned, why are you not playing Veigar? He stacks so hard. Like by late game, if the game gets in the late game, you can't lose, right? And I play Mundo, for example. Like early game, like in my opinion, Mundo is kind of garbage. But by late game, not only can he tank the end of the world, but he can also like chuck damage on people who have massive health. Like it's almost like a tank doing Vayne damage. Like I chuck a cleaver at somebody and it chucks like 25% of their health. Like how can you tell me that's not massively important? Like somebody who can just chunk health, like that's huge, especially late game. Like you want to play characters that are gonna win you in the end, right? Like win the game in the end. Um, Silas is a good game changer. Yumi, I don't really think is that great of a support, but there are people who beg to differ, and like it depends on the level you're playing at, I think. But whatever. Jax is a game changer because of his like CC and fear that he instills in people. But Mundo, the reason, okay, so we were playing Trundle for a while, and it was all about like just pushing the lane, getting the Rift Herald, and like just finding ways to ultimately just like push and win because in bronze people don't even push the lane, right? Wow, my game, like imagine that. I'm recording a video and Riot wants to somehow make my game glitch out. So, whatever. Like, I haven't done anything, right? Like, I haven't clicked any buttons. I'm not trying to switch screens. Don't. This is Riot programming, guys. Like, you're just, you know, sometimes your game just fucking glitches out because that's the way Riot fucking program their shit. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. But anyway, so I'm picking Mundo because I'm thinking I want to be able to do that massive damage late game if we get that far, but also like if they are like kicking my team's butt early game, I want to be able to like have a chance to come back, right? And even if my team wins early game, Mundo is that much stronger, right? Like if my team overpowers them, Mundo really can't be hurt. If they overpower my team, at least I might be able to take enough damage that will help the team overcome the problem, right? So like I'm like in silver, it's now about not just simply about like doing the objective. It's also about like figuring out like what can I do to like ultimately win the game for my team, right? Like Vagar, for example, my team's getting wrecked, but now it's past 20 minutes and I got enough stacks that I can one shot like most people, right? So you have to think about characters that are going to pull you out. Like, not necessarily you being a good player, but you have to think about now the character involved, right? So, what can you do to like pull yourself through silver, not force yourself through silver, right? In bronze, it's force yourself through bronze. Now, silver, it's the same concepts. Do the objectives. Don't die, and if you do die, make sure it's for a massively good purpose or a reason, and like you're getting objectives and things like that. But now you have to start thinking like how important a character is. Now, I've always said don't buy a Doran's item because it's a waste of money. But when you play a character like Mundo, for example, the health regen aspect of him, a Doran's item to start with is actually good. Restore 6 health every 5 seconds, regenerate 30 health every, over 10 seconds after taking damage from an enemy champion. So you want to take that stuff. And, we'll go over runes and stuff like that. And maybe, in the next video, we'll figure out, like, I'm going to use my teleport because it's not going to affect my gameplay at all. And on top of that, I was busy talking too much. But, yeah, so, like, this game, I'm actually just going to play passive. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to farm because I know that Mundo is a late game champion, right? So you have to start figuring out like what does each champion have as far as strengths, right? Like if I play Trundle, for example, am I going to um, play hard early game? Am I going to play hard late game? Well, Trundle's kind of good like anywhere, but really you're looking now at this point. You have to start figuring out like what are champion strengths? When are they good? How are they good? And why are they good at it? Right? So Mundo is not very good. Like if I throw my Q right now, it's not going to kill this minion, right? So like why am I going to throw that Q? But late game, I throw that Q and that minion's gonna die easily because like the Q does whatever its damage is. And you saw I didn't get my W level 3. And I might do that like in certain situations, but right now like I already know that this Aatrox is gonna outfarm me, right? So I want my Q to do as much damage as I can because it's really gonna be my best farming tool, right? Like sitting in my turret, fine, I get it. Like I'm not gonna be able to like, um, I'm not gonna throw 1,000 Qs, but I do know that like I need to make sure that I stay as close to Aatrox and farm as I possibly can. So I want to. Wow, I missed that. Of course I missed that. But I just want to be able to like when I throw my Q, I want it to kill something. I'm gonna get my W level 4 because I should have it, right? I shouldn't let it sit too long. But if I can level my Q, like I want to be able to do damage, right? You saw that how it did like half the damage. So like if I throw it, I want it to be able to kill something. And you know me. like a lot of times I talk too much and I miss farm because I'm talking, but like it's important you guys know what I'm saying more than like the farm I'm getting, because I already know that I'm better than my opponent. So okay, I'm gonna get that and then also come back, throw that at that guy. Okay, he's running away. Jax doesn't want to fight, so we're done. That's it. Simple. Alright, so yeah. He like see how aggressive he's being? It's just like Mundo doesn't win early game, guys. That's how it is. But that doesn't mean I'm losing the lane, right? Like you just leave the lane, you go do what you gotta do, and then when you come back, you know, get the farm you can, you know. But just play for late game. Play for late game. Like I don't understand why. Like for example, I have a diamond friend who like think thinks that the world like should cater to him. In other words, I remember him telling me like you need to be more aggressive. And it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh, especially when like somebody doesn't know who you are. They assume you don't know anything. So they tell you what it is they think is the best thing, right? But that doesn't mean they're right, right? So like you can play um, a million games of League of Legends and you can be challenger all day, but that doesn't mean that your one save all do all message is going to work every single game. Like it's funny cuz like the one like I played one game with him and he went like 3 and 15 as Yasuo, right? And I was the only positive person on my team, and he started the game telling me how I should play, and then he hasn't played with me since because I called him out on it. I was like, I guess that didn't work for you, did it? And he didn't like that. He didn't like that comment, and it was just like some people think they have the answer to every single game, and the reality is there's no answer to every game. Like you have to play it like based on what you see, based on how things play out. You can't just do everything a certain way. You have to react. The way you the way you ultimately rank up is reacting, right? Like knowing how you're supposed to like do something, right? Like if I shut up right now, I probably freaking throw 1,000 Qs in this guy's face because all he does is try to fucking Q me all day with his stuff. Like, dude, like if you want to play that aggressive, man, like matter of fact, I'm gonna shut up right now. I'm gonna see how much damage I can start doing to this guy. Like, see if I can maybe even do something to him. Hell, I might even actually start gaining farm. Gosh, my ult went off too late. Ah! Mm, I should have actually popped it sooner. I misjudged his skill there. That's my fault. I should have done better. But that's okay. Like another reason I'm playing Mundo, right, is like, oh, look at that shit. Hell yeah. So he cleaned up, no big deal. Like that actually wasn't even as big a loss as I thought it was gonna be. He's gonna try pushing the lane, but it's okay, I'll do it. But yeah, I mean, you know, Aatrox is beating me in farm, but he's not like, I mean, he's a little bit ahead, like every 15 CS is a kill, right? Like you have to consider that. So he is a little bit ahead of me, but again, I'm playing a character that is solely designed for this game to go past 20 minutes, right? So like I'm okay with this lasting, right? I'm okay with it. And I want him to be aggressive. Like I'm okay with that. Like I'm not okay with him like kicking my team's ass, but if I can keep him in the lane, he's not going to be able to like do anything to my team, right? So I don't care if he's like fed, at least in the aspect of, you know, beating me. I mean, my ult's almost up, dude. I don't even know what you're doing. I don't know. I guess maybe he thinks that works. I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe that's it. Like, he saw me get my butt kicked, and now he just believes he's good, you know, or better than me, and like maybe he hasn't figured it out.
An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Oh, I didn't bait him into the tower. I was hoping I could. Gosh dang it. Well, that was a wasted ult. Guess I'll just farm, right? Like, wait for late game. Eventually, he's not going to be able to do anything to me anyway, so it doesn't matter. Just make sure you get as much farm as you can, right? Because if you're going to camp tower, like, you're going to be under farmed, but also, you know, get what you can, because that's all you can do. You know, throw, like, I'm watching underneath because I don't want to, like, I don't want to risk anything. Like, like, I don't know. It's just not worth it. Because, you know, maybe they'll look me up on op.gg and see that I have like a 70% win rate with Mundo or something, and they'll be like, oh, let me kill this guy. And that's another thing. Like, people don't actually look other people up before a game, like, to know who the good players are, right? So, my top is missing now. He's probably going mid. Who knows where he's actually going, actually, because I don't know where he would be going right now. Like, based on who's alive and where like, what objectives are available, he's, like, maybe Rift Herald, but I feel like that's just a little too early. Like, 7 minutes till Baron, that's kind of early for, I don't know, maybe he's baiting me into the bush, but I'm not going to take that bait because, yeah, it's hard to trust people that really don't know what they're doing because they'll do anything, right? So whatever. If I have to use my ult to stay in lane, I'll just do that. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, ultimately, you're not gonna kill me anymore. I've got my ult, so good job, dude. I'm gonna actually place this here because for some reason I'm like, sometimes you have to follow your intuition, right? Like, sometimes people are trying to, like, if you feel like somebody's gonna gank you from somewhere, there's a reason, right? Like, I feel like I'm gonna, like, get attacked here, so I'm trying to, like, prevent that from happening. And it might be because my MMR, it might be because, you know, the last couple games things have been happening that are freaking weird for Silver. But shoot, we were winning, but now we're 4 versus 11. Does that mean this game is over? No, not really. I mean, all it really means is, you know, they're winning early game. The longer this game goes, the worse it is for them, though. Alright, so I'm gonna get, let's see, 80, 80, AP, AP, AP. Even though Aatrox has got this, I'm probably gonna go Mercury Treads. Just go, like, I'm trying to plan ahead, right? Like, I know that if I get a Spirit Visage, my ult is gonna be even stronger. And I have this kind of like thought process, right? Like, if I'm guarding top, I've got one death, it's 15 minutes in, and Aatrox takes my tower. If you haven't stopped him as a jungler, like if you haven't come in to try to prevent him from taking the tower, like it's not because I'm failing, right? It's because you're not ganking, dude. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead and have your farm, dude. Have fun. Like, I'm already behind on farm. You haven't ganked, but yeah, you know what? Tax my lane. Screw it. I don't need it, right? Like, and you know, like, that's why I play a character like Mundo, right? Like, I'm a tank. You can have whatever you want, dude. I'm gonna let you fucking take every fucking piece of farm. Because it's more important to me that you get ahead because I don't need it than me just trying to, like, act like I'm the fucking best player in the world and I'm gonna carry everything. Terrible Rift Herald call. But you know what, dude? Like, obviously you need the CS. Obviously you need, like, you're not capable of thinking, right? You're not capable of, like, oh, that's a good Rift Herald call, right? Like, you want to call Rift Herald, like, what are you doing there? Like, why are you going to 1v2 him? And then it's my fault that you decided to do that, right? I mean, you can't change the mentality of people, right? Like, they're like, you can't fix stupid, so don't try. Like, that's kind of like the idea, right? And Mundo does nothing. Like, yeah, I did nothing. Like, what am I gonna do there?
Your turret has been destroyed.
Of course Shaco's there. I actually thought he left, to be honest. So, yeah, they're talking shit in fucking chat, so, what did I tell you? What did I tell you before? Just mute people, right? Like, if it's gonna affect your game, just mute them. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Enemy rampage. An enemy
Like, they're obviously not gonna give you constructive criticism or, like, things that would help the game. If all they're gonna do is say, like, oh, it's your fault for this happening, and that's the only productive thing they can say, why listen to them in the first place, right? So I'm just going to mute them and continue on my day. They haven't helped my lane. They've allowed Aatrox. They've literally allowed him to push my lane to 15 minutes and, like, not stop him in any way. I haven't hardly died, but, like, like, again, what can you do, right? Like, you can only do so much, so whatever. I'll just keep doing my thing, and then when late game comes, like, he can't stop me. Again, if I last till 20 minutes, which is about the time I get my Spirit Visage, you can't kill me at that point. So, like, whatever, I'll just free farm here because he's not going to contest me. He's probably going to go back and buy. I'll call him AFK and move forward, right? But this time you can see, like, I'm not pushing the lane so that I get minions. I'm pushing the lane so that it pushes, right? I'm going to push it as fast as I can. I'm going to do my best to get the minions, but I want the lane to push as hard as it possibly can push. Of course, I'm going to do my best to get the minions and as much gold as I can, but right now I just want the lane to push, like, as hard as I can because I just lost my tower. And I want to keep Aatrox in my lane because he's fed, right? Like, well, it's Shaco. Oh my god. Their whole team is fed. Jesus Christ. I'm talking shit. Like, Of course, I only got 2 deaths. I got more farm than the rest of my team. I guess the ADC has some farm, but who knows? Yeah, you know what? I don't know the answer for this particular game. All I can say is like what's on my mind, and like my mentality is this game's not over, but you know, they're talking shit, so I mute them. I don't want to fucking deal with it. Like I think I can win. Like I don't need the score to tell me who's ahead and who can do what and whatnot. Like I'm gonna push the lane the way I'm gonna play the game the way I think it needs to be played. Nice call, bud. I mean, it's an AoE and it's not even a skill shot and he's still missing. Like, he's not that good. Trust me, he's not that good. I mean, the only reason I died a second time is because Shaco came in and Jax sucks, right? Like, imagine if Jax actually ganked my lane a couple times. Imagine who'd be winning the fights, you know? Like, I don't know. The game could go so differently if people actually did their jobs, right? Like maybe Jax thinks that like maybe ganking bot is like the answer, right? Like maybe he thinks if I gank for bot and then I get him fed, then we can win the lane. But like, how has that worked for you? Like if it's not working for you, why are you still doing it? I guess you know
Shut
like
down.
sometimes you have to look like that's why you want to look for like who your good players are, right? Like you want to look them up
An
online.
ally has been
Every
slain.
single game you play, you want to look them up online and see like who the good player is, who's in silver, who's in bronze, who's doing this, who's doing that. Like you want to figure out like who knows what they're doing. Like if you have a 70% win rate Mundo and a, 30% win rate Jin, like if he's not winning for you every time you gank his lane, why are you still ganking for him? But like if all of a sudden you like recognize, oh, this Mundo might actually be smurfing or he might actually be good, because I looked him up and I saw that he's winning or that he's capable of doing this or that. Like sometimes you want to like it's okay to let other people carry you, like if I'm gonna carry the game, that's okay. That's okay to let that person carry, right? Like if you want to win, sometimes you have to let the best player win. Excuse me. Like if I play jungle, for example, I'm going like okay, so now it's past 20 minutes. I need to fucking buy this like ASAP. He's gonna push the lane. He's playing as aggressive as he can. Nobody even cares, by the way. Nobody's trying to stop him. I have to just keep playing my lane, but I'm keeping him here, right? Like he's not going and stopping my team. He's not like going to hurt my team in any way. Like whatever. I'm just gonna do whatever I can to keep Aatrox in my lane. If he leaves my lane, I'm gonna push it.
An ally has
I
been
have to
slain.
create that pressure. Like top, like people misunderstand top so hard. Like they think that he needs to be like a team player, and yet Aatrox hasn't been part of their team the entire game. But they're gonna sit there and say like, I didn't help the team, but like neither did Aatrox to their team. Like they're not winning because Aatrox is helping their team, and that it's just like it's so easy to pass blame, especially in these lower ELOs. People don't realize like what is actually going on at hand, right? So I'm just gonna keep doing this. If Aatrox gets kills right now, that's because people are allowing him to fucking get kills. But I'm gonna get this tower. They got my tower. I'm gonna get this tower. I'm gonna reverse the push on them. I'm gonna reverse the pressure that they're placing on the team. So Aatrox is like, oh, I don't want to leave that lane because if I do, Mundo's gonna push it. And then when that happens and it's late game and I have tons of like ability to like fight back. Like I'm 0-2 right now, but I'm also super tanky, right? So like this game goes even further. I get my Sunfire cape, and guess what? Like the game has just changed to a point to where they're like, oh, I didn't foresee that happening, right? I'm gonna hit this anyways because yeah, I didn't want to use my ult because I was dead anyway, but whatever. Like, I really don't care what my score is. At this point, it's all about, like, creating that pressure, getting so tanky that now they have to force pressure on. Like, you're going to see. It seems like right now, everything is going poorly, right? But I want you to go back to the 4 and 11, right? We were down by 4 and 11 is 7 kills. We were down by 7 when I started saying this, down by 6 now. Nothing has changed. Okay, let's see farm. Aatrox is beating me by 60 farm, 60 farm here. Our Silas is winning. You know, Silas is kind of a game changer in a way. So, you know, you got to give him a benefit there. 20 farm here, and Lux is still beating the farm. Like, ultimately, they're winning. They're winning as far as farm, they're winning as far as kills, but they're not winning the game, okay? And they have 1, 2, 3 turrets, and I have 1 turret. Watch how much pressure it takes from people when, like, the longer this game goes, the tankier I get. I'm not building a single damage item, and yet we will watch the graphs, like who does damage. And now, of course, it depends on like how much attention they give me and whatnot. But like we'll see how much damage I do. Like people underestimate this Q, right? Like don't play a tank because you need to play a tank. Don't play like Zed because you think that's what's gonna win games. Like, play characters that will win the game. I'm playing a tank right now that does so much damage that, like, I mean, I'm a tank and I do damage, right? Like, that's insane. That's insane that... Look, I'll just come out here. Look, I'm just tanking shit. Okay, well, this Jax is not very good, to be honest. That's a shame. I'm dead, so whatever. I mean, the CC that those two can put out, but like it's like where was the rest of the team? Like, I mean, he easily could have came up. He could have just like these two right here could have just walked up that whole time I was taking all that damage. He could have walked up, but like they're obviously not challenger or gold or anything like that, and to me that doesn't actually matter. But like as an observer, somebody who's watching this game, think about those things, right? Like pretend you're Jin, for example. What could you have done to change that outcome? I lived for like I don't know, like we can go back and count the seconds. I lived for a long time, long enough for him to actually run up there and like for both of them to go up there and do something. Like even tanking right here, just running back and forth and getting CC'd and still living and still living. And now he goes up and gets a kill. Like you're telling me you could get the kill if I'm not there, but you didn't come and help when I was there? Like those are things that you have to think about in silver, right? Like it's not necessarily like you have to play as a team, but you have to be aware of what's going on around you. You have to think about like what's going to happen if I don't do this, or like is it really this person's fault for not doing something? Like I have brought 2 people to the top lane and I've held them there, and I guarantee you, like right now, if we don't get dragon and I don't get top, like there's a problem, right? But they might like, what if we lose dragon and I don't get top? it's all my fault because I didn't go help Dragon, right? But I should get top, and I should be able to push it at least to the turret. So, because, you know, they want Dragon that bad, then they're going to miss top. And, like, like, I'm going to put as much pressure as I can up here. Because, just like in Bronze, you guys have to recognize, pushing lanes, just simply doing the objective, right, is enough to, like, it might be enough to win the game. Just do your job, right? Like, my job is to get that turret. I'm gonna fucking go get that turret. But I do need to buy. I came back. I didn't buy anything to come out because I wanted to see how the game was gonna play out, but I'll get that. I'm gonna get something to, like, help push lanes because maybe I want to join team fights now, right? Like, obviously my team isn't, like, thinking properly. They're not, like, I don't think they're smart enough to do what they're supposed to do. I'm actually going to sell this because I want to get the Raptor Cloak. But I want to get a ZZ Rot because it'll push the lane for me, because I want to push the lane. Like, that's ultimately my goal. But I think the team needs a tank now. And even though I'm 0-4, like, what really gets me about, like, lower leagues is people think that, like, feeding means, like, if you're 0-4, you're losing the game for people. They don't realize I'm a tank. I don't care what my score is. My entire goal is to, okay, whatever, dude. Oh, you are so screwed. Okay, I'm gonna get this and go back here because I'm pretty sure he's gonna be right there. If not, he's going B. Otherwise, like, it doesn't matter because we just got Baron. So that's okay. That's actually 100% okay. But yeah, score, like, if you think score matters, you're already wrong. You guys need to figure out how to, like, get over that shit. You guys who think, like focus on feeders and, like, people who don't have kills and shit, like, you are the epitome of why I'm doing this. Like, I'm getting banned because I'm talking trash, you know, to somebody who's talking trash to my own teammates. Like, I don't know. I get fed up. I get fed up with people who focus too much on kills rather than, like, what the game actually has to offer. So, like, I could easily just win this game without a single kill, which is what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm trying to tell you guys, like, this whole time, none of that shit matters, man. Learn how to win the game. Stop talking shit to your teammates. Stop fucking as a matter of fact, start muting everybody, because if you mute all, you're gonna fucking win games. Because people, like, all people want to do is just talk about how trash you are, right? Stop listening to fucking stupid people, especially if you're anything less than gold, dude. Like, if you're anything less than gold, you don't know shit. You don't know a fucking jack fucking shit. Stop listening to them. Don't care what they say, and don't say anything to them, because you're not going to fix stupid. It's just not going to happen. Just go out there, play your best game, go out there and figure out how to win. Don't listen to anybody. Just do what you have to do to win games. You know? Look, 0-4, still winning games. I must just be a feeder. I must just be the worst player in this game. Oh, you're done, dude. You're so done. Yeah, done. Done. Nice job, Silas. Nice job, Silas. Yep. They're probably talking shit about me, but you know what? As a player, that's why you mute people, because you don't care. You don't care if they're talking shit about you. You care about, like, what works for the team, what works, what wins. So that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I mean, yeah. I don't know if he was the one talking shit to me. Like, I don't know. I just mute everybody because as soon as somebody starts talking shit, you mute them, right? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna fucking go win my games. I don't care. I'm gonna tank as much damage as I can. I don't care about nothing. Tank everything. Play a character that's gonna win you the game. People don't understand what a tank is, right? I'm not carrying you. You carry me. You can carry as a tank. You can go 0-4 as a tank and be the reason the team wins. It's not about kills, guys. It's about who you play, how to win. Like, now I've shown you the character, like, I'm sorry, not the characters. I've shown you the bronze mentality, right? I've shown you, let's see, Jin did really well. Jax never ganked. Yumi, whatever. Jin didn't come top. Silas did some pretty good plays. I wouldn't say he carried, but I'm going to give him team player. The best person worthy of that, you know, thing. But yeah, of course, chat's gonna go wild. But yeah, I've shown you guys. Just gonna get out of this. Who cares? I've shown you guys like what the bronze mentality is. Like what happens when you're bronze. What do you do? Like what causes you to get banned? What causes you to not win games? And like how do you get out of it and whatever. Now you apply those same techniques into silver, but then you start thinking about the characters that'll win you the game. Now it's not about just do the objectives. It's about do the objectives, but have a thought process behind like what does your team need? What does the enemy team have? Like if I go back into this match history, you'll see that the other team didn't even really have a tank, right? Like Vladimir was their best chance at a tank, and he completely went AP, right? Um, if Vladimir goes AP, then Aatrox must go tank slash bruiser, but he went straight damage. Like the only tank item he had was a Guardian Angel, which only goes so far, right? So like my team needed a tank because they didn't have one, but if I have one, we're gonna do great. Jax built, mostly damage, I would say. Uh, Yumi built straight up fucking AP, but she was, jumping between players. Like I was basically the straight up tank. I went 0-4 and we won. Not a single person in this game understood how important it was for me to play like this. I got only 2 assists, 4 deaths, 0 kills, but they have no idea. No idea. Because everybody in this rank thinks that it's about who's the best carry, who can play Yasuo better, who can like get the most kills. I'm telling you guys, if you want to get out of the low ranks, stop thinking about how many kills you can get. Start thinking about how do I win? If you start thinking about how do I win rather than how can I get more kills, this isn't Call of Duty, guys. This is a chess match. When you start actually using your brain instead of, I don't know, your fingers or something, because I don't want to say your heart, because if you start using your heart, you get emotional and then you become toxic. So I don't want to say that. But if you start using your brain, you start realizing there's a lot more to this game than how many kills you get. And I explained the whole match. I told you everything that was happening. I even told you when we were down 3 turrets to 1 that we were going to win. I told you that because I knew. I already knew. I already knew how the game was going to go before the game even started. Maybe you don't think I'm legitimate. Maybe you think I'm just talking out my ass. If that's the case, you don't have to watch my videos. But if you actually are willing to learn something, if you're willing to like listen to what I'm saying. Now, of course, you can't avoid Riot's problems, right? Like Riot isn't going to stop toxicity from happening, right? Riot doesn't care that these people were bashing me mid-game. Riot doesn't care that Jax was saying, "Oh, fuck Mundo." But here's the key. Did I reply? No, I didn't. What did I do? I muted everybody. Why do we mute all? So we can keep trying while the noobs are crying. I hope you hear what I'm saying. You can win, guys. You all can win. The biggest problem, the 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 biggest problem that so many people have in this lower ELO is they just listen to people, you know? I hope I hope the series is helping. And I know that like I'm not posting videos every 2 days like, you know, the average YouTuber, cuz that's not me, you know? I'm playing games with my friends, you know? I'm playing No Man's Sky, I'm playing 7 Days to Die. I'm thinking about maybe editing those videos and posting them so you can see like me and my friends playing and having a good time. Like I'm not all serious League of Legends only all the time, and like that's not me. But I can show you guys a few things. Some of the things I see as a problem. And most of it's Riot's fault, right? Like these wouldn't be problems if Riot actually like banned legitimately bad people and helped the good people actually progress. Like you're not going to play with players of your caliber. It's not going to happen. You're not going to play with people that are not toxic. It's not going to happen. Riot doesn't care about any of that. Like I said, Riot is okay with you being banned because they know you're going to come back and buy a champion or two. And honestly, that's what I did with this account. Like, I'm not going to lie. I got permanently banned with that last one, so I had to make this one to show you guys, like at this level, like whatever. So I had to buy a few champions. I'm going to admit, but they do that on purpose. They know that that's going to happen. They know that there are those situations. And I'm not the only situation. Like, God forbid there's actually somebody who actually loves this game to the point to where, they're toxic because they're tired of losing because they have toxic and feeders and all that stuff. And Riot's not going to put them in the same skill group. But the series is strictly to show you that Riot doesn't care. But you can do something about it. You can fight the system, but you have to do it the right way. And that's not to say that Riot is correct in, forcing, people to be in the right place through multiple bans. That's not the right way to conduct business. That's not the right way to own a business or have clients or customers, right? Like they're strictly about money. They could care less whether it turns you into a better player or not. But the system can be beat. The system can be beat. And I'm trying to show you how, if you're willing to listen. Nah, but for real though, have a great day.